Hey everyone, it's James. I'm back with your SmackDown review from last night ahead of tonight's Saturday night's main event. Now, before we get into this, I just want to remind you guys the South is being hit by a major winter storm, so please be safe tonight and tomorrow, especially. But because of the technical issues I had last night during the attempted watch along, I'm going to break down last night's SmackDown piece by piece. So, tonight, last night's show started out with a in-ring promo by Sami Zayn because they were in Montreal, and Sami Zayn is the hometown hero. He basically is clamoring for another title match, a world title match, because he's had a shot at the mountaintop before but failed several times. Then the young upstart Trick Williams interrupted him, basically said he couldn't get the job done before, and Sami got right in his face, as you'd expect. Then Trick said that he already had a match with Damian Priest scheduled for later in the evening. So then Priest comes out there, they cut a promo, and then Trick delivers a cheap shot on Zayn. And that led to a three-way fight between the three, because they're all in the Fatal 4-Way tonight against Randy Orton to determine who will be Drew McIntyre's first challenger at the Royal Rumble. Next, we see a U.S. Open Challenge. Carmelo Hayes defending against Ilya Dragunov. This is a very back-and-forth matchup. Next thing you know, The Miz gets involved and behind Melo and the referee's back and helps Melo defeat Ilya Dragunov, which didn't make Melo very happy. He wanted to win fair and square. But nonetheless, we'll see where that goes. Next, we see Chelsea Green go one-on-one with Jade Cargill. Before the match, Chelsea tried to recruit Jordynne Grace to be a member of the Secret Service. And because Jordynne found out that the match was against Jade, she agreed to at least accompany them. But she did not get involved in the match. Long story short, Jade basically squashes another victim and defeats Chelsea Green clean in the middle of the ring. But after the match, Jordynne Grace confirms that she is in the Women's Royal Rumble. So she's coming after Jade Cargill's championship, I'm sure, if she wins. And speaking of the Royal Rumble, we now know as a result of last night that the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, will make his return next week in Saudi Arabia at the Royal Rumble, and he will be in the Men's Royal Rumble match. So we look forward to that. Next, we see a backstage segment between AJ Styles and General Manager Nick Aldis. Nick was basically questioning AJ's decision to put his career on the line come Royal Rumble against Gunther. And he was reminding him that his back's against the wall and he was used to it. Next thing you know, he gets interrupted by Shinsuke Nakamura. And Shinsuke offers AJ a match. So Nick Aldis has agreed, and it will be AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura tonight. Yes, that match is happening live at Saturday night's main event tonight. So then, we go from there to the tag team title match. The MFTs challenging the Wyatt Six. Now, many of you may remember that several weeks ago, the Wyatt Six had that lantern stolen by the MFTs. So Solo Sikoa sends one of his teammates backstage to keep an eye on it, if you will. And that ultimately did the Wyatt Six in because the MFTs managed to capture the tag team gold And my sense is it may be a while before they lose that, because the Wyatt Six still have to get the lantern back. Next, we see Johnny Gargano, along with Candice LeRae, take on Nathan Frazier of Fraction. Now, if you remember, Johnny Gargano recently stole one of Axiom's masks. But due to a miscommunication on the part of Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano, which resulted in Candice striking her husband, Frazier was able to win the match. And they got the mask back, at least temporarily. But then Candice ran off with it again. So they basically had it back for all of 10 seconds. Next thing you know, next we see Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss take on the Bougie Bully Lash Legend and Nia Jax, along with Kiana James and Julia, to determine who will face Rhea Ripley and Io Sky for the women's tag team belts in a triple threat. This was a very solid competitive match. Some brilliant play on the part of Kiana James enabled her and Julia to pin Alexa Bliss in the middle of the ring. So Kiana and Julia have won the tag team title shot. Next thing, and then from there we see a promo from Drew McIntyre. He says he's not afraid of anything. He's ready for anyone. And there was also a very heated interview between Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu, which resulted in both men being removed from the building by General Manager Nick Aldis, but they will square off tonight, Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu, at Saturday night's main event. And then we get to this main event. We see Trick Williams, the young upstart, take on Damian Priest. And this was a solid match, and before the match got underway, we heard Damian Priest tell Sami Zayn not to get involved, to which Sami failed to respect. Because at one point, Sami did get involved, causing the match to be thrown out. And Trick won it by disqualification, and he thought he'd be the last man standing. The last thing we see before we go off the air, though, is Randy Orton sneak in the ring from behind and drop Trick Williams, courtesy of the three most dangerous letters in all of pro wrestling, RKO. So that's how SmackDown shaped up ahead of tonight's Saturday night's main event. And a reminder, you can see Saturday night's main event tonight on Peacock live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And for you fans who enjoy my watch-alongs, I want to let you guys know that Monday, Raw returns to 8 p.m. Eastern on Netflix, live from Toronto, ahead of the Royal Rumble. However, I may or may not be able to follow along with the show live, depending on what happens as a result of this winter storm. But we'll keep you updated, and I'll try to follow up with some information about it as best I can. In the meantime, please be safe if you're in the path of this storm. And as I always say, remember to love one another. I'll be back with some updates in a few days. Thank you very much.